It's interesting because, I mean, you out-earn your boyfriend who you've been dating for 4 years.
Sorry, almost 4.
Almost 4 years. A guy who is making $3 million would...
That's yours.
Sorry, I just got everyone's cup mixed up.
Did you? I don't think so.
We are refilling the water.
Sorry.
Okay. A guy who's making $3 million and he's dating someone who makes less than 100K, he would probably just pay for everything, vacations, all this stuff. Because you mentioned earlier, you want someone that can match you, like in terms of lifestyle-wise. If you want to go on a vacation, you want someone who can like bring, pay for their vacations.
Not
a guy
necessarily.
who's making millions of dollars a year will just, if he's dating a girl who's not making that much, he'll just pay for everything
wait.
from the jump almost.
I want to clarify something. I don't necessarily mean it like that. And I'm going to use fast food and dining as a way to describe it just because that's what's easiest for me. So let's say me and my partner agree that we don't want to eat out, right? We want to cut costs. We don't want to eat out for the entire week. And he's budgeting to fit that. And let's say one night I have a really bad day and I want to go eat somewhere nice. And I know that he doesn't necessarily have the budget for that. I'm going to take him and I'm going to treat it because it's something I want to do with him. And that can be applied to eating out, that can be applied to vacations, that can be applied to events, that can be applied to literally anything in our relationship. But that doesn't mean that like he's just not going to do anything for me. Let's say, let's say I'm having a bad night. I don't really have the budget to do what I want. And he doesn't really have like a budget to take me out on a nice dinner. He'll get me a pizza or like some chocolates from 7-Eleven or something cheap. You know what I mean? For me, it's not really about like, can he match a vacation? It's like, showing me that he cares with what he has available.
All right. Looks like we got a TTS coming in, but Eric, can you pull that up? Go for it, Kazumi.
She calling dudes who don't have money lazy, bum, loser, embarrassing, etc. Well, I'm gonna respond and say I wouldn't want to date a unit who can't hit the gym, who is a lazy, a bum, unhealthy, and unfit. Okay.
Jacob, thank you for the $50 super chat. Sorry, our TTS is busted, so Kazumi's...
Sorry, it's me who has to read it. I know they're like, fuck that. I hate this. I mean, okay, you are totally entitled to just not date who you don't want to date. He was like, I just took a stand. Thanks for your bravery.
Like, here's the thing. When a woman makes more money, she's going to typically be looking to date someone who makes at least as much as she does or more. So, for example, a female attorney, like, just think about it. Visualize it. A female attorney, a female doctor, a female surgeon. Like, it's almost self-evident. She's not going to go date a guy who works at McDonald's.
No.
She's not. Like, it's almost self-evident.
Because
However,
he's not even in her, like, energy space. Like,
but
it's a different mindset.
Here's the thing. A high-achieving attorney, doctor, surgeon, he'll gladly date. Like, if she's attractive, he'll date a girl who works at McDonald's, at Chick-fil-A, a barista.
How long does that actually last, though? Because it definitely matters, like, the intellectual conversations that you have when you're at such a high...
You might have those intellectual conversations regardless of job, though.
I feel like
your career, I feel like regardless of your
I've met
career
some
path,
fucking annoying pharmacists and nurses, and I've dated pharmacists and nurses, doctors. Like, they're not any more pleasant to talk to than like just a 19, 21-year-old girl.
I feel like it's more about like a personality match, whereas like a career path. Like I live next to like one of the frat houses, and it's like one of the like doctor frat houses. I'm not saying that kindly.
It sounds like a hot place to be next to.
Yeah, you should go, Kazumi.
They sound cute.
But some of these boys, if you see this, I'm sorry, can be freaking annoying as hell. And it genuinely makes me wonder. I'm just like, you know what? Like, they're not my type. And these guys are starting to be doctors. Like, they're going to be making bank.
Do you think that people who, like, you can't have it all.
Right.
Like, I feel like it's very hard to find somebody who, like, has it all. And by that, I mean somebody who is...
Check everything on the list.
Let's say, that's, like, a possibility. But, like, also, like, you're either super-duper smart in, like, books and stuff, and you've put in a lot of time and energy and effort into that, or you're, like, street smart and aware of yourself in other ways. Mm-hmm. That's what I mean, you know?
What was the question?
That?
Here, let's do this while it Praxis, thank you for the super chat. I'm sorry the TTS is broken, so we have Kazumi as our TTS
I think they
for
want
tonight.
me to read it. They think like there's gonna be a point where I just have a mental breakdown or something, and it's like
No, I think you have a strong will.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
just
you're
like,
good.
it's amazing how OF girls have the energy to argue and debate the most obvious truths, yet they refuse to use that energy to find a real job. Your career has an expiration date, whether you like it or not. Guess what? That's all jobs, bro. What? Like, you think like bro here is gonna podcast till he's 80,000 years old?
Yes.
No, you're gonna probably get your bag and leave. That's life.
Guys, the year
What?
is 20,023. I'm going to be there podcasting. Listen, Alcor Life it's called Alcor Life Extension. They fucking freeze you. Cryopreservation.
Yeah.
You and me, Kazumi.
Yeah, I'll be
20,000
fucking-
years.
You'll be podcasting. We'll be one and
20,000
one.
years. there actually is, it's called cryonics. And
Yeah.
they freeze you with the anticipation that in the future, science and technology will advance to the point where they could unfreeze you and basically bring you back to life. And so you
there'll
and
be-
me,
There'll be
let's-
like a 30-year hidatus where you're frozen in time, and then you'll come back and be like, hey guys, the podcast is back.
yo, what's up? Dating talk.
We now Twitch in space.
Dating in 20,000's a mess. Let's just before I have you come in, can you TTS this, Kazumi?
I'm a doctor. He's kind of sexy.
Oh shit.
Why is he so buff? I'm a doctor, and I can tell you personally that my female colleagues struggle to find men they date because they won't date down. My male colleagues don't have much of an issue with that because we can date way down easily.
Yep.
Is the point here the fact that we should help you guys not date down, or are you telling us to date down? I'm confused with
No,
what the
men-
angle is.
Men are perfectly content dating down, so to speak,
Well, by
in terms
dating
of
down, are we
socioeconomic status.
Men also look for things differently in a relationship than women
Yeah,
do.
if you're looking for a hot horny honey, I mean that's your right. And that if that hot horny honey is looking for an $800 credit score, then fuck it. Like this, then this is a perfectly transactional relationship, and you guys are happy to go off into the sunset.
But here's the thing. So as a guy, his status increases, his money increases, his pool of potential partners also increases, whereas as a woman's status increases, the more money she makes, actually her pool of potential partners tends to shrink. Not necessarily because men won't date her, but because she's now looking, okay, I make this much money, here's my lifestyle. I want someone that I don't want to be having to like carry a guy. Most women are going to have that point of view. Not all women, but a lot of women are, they're going to want to
would
date
take-
someone on their level or higher. Go ahead.
It would take a certain kind of man to not have to put his ego aside and be able to be taken care of by a woman.
Some men do have an ego about that, but the issue, while it is primarily on the women's side, it's not on the men's side. The women would not want to date a guy who doesn't match them.
I think that has a lot more to do with the emotional maturity than anything else, in my opinion, because there have been a lot of reports and studies done about how as men age, their dating pool of ages that they look at don't generally grow with their age. There are still men in their 40s looking at girls in their 20s and, around that age looking to date. Whereas with women, as we age, we look for somebody more within our age range. And most of the time that does mean financial security as well as emotional maturity, but that's not all it is. You know what I'm saying?
It's evolutionary too. Like if you go back to the caveman days, women were looking for men that could provide and protect. And so how does a man provide nowadays? Through financial resources.
But why does he only have to provide through financial resources?
I just want to be loved.